Details and tips on the Z67 Gulfstream G700 RC airplane. The wingspan is 440 millimeters, which is 17.3 inches. The length is 430 millimeters, which is 19.9 inches. It's made of EPP foam, which is the most durable foam that I've seen. Prop diameter is 56 millimeters, 2.2 inch. Remote control mode is 2.4 gigahertz. It's a 3-channel. Remote control battery, it takes 3 AA batteries, not included. Remote control distance is 150 meters. Flight battery is a 1S 3.7 volt, 350 milliamp hour LiPo. Flight time, it says approximately 15 minutes. So if you're just cruising around at 50 to 60% throttle, you will probably get close to that. Charge time says approximately 60 minutes. In the box, you get the Gulfstream RC aircraft, the G700. Mine came with 2 batteries. You get the remote control. It is ready to fly. You get a USB charging cable for your batteries. You get a prop changing tool, which comes in handy. It comes with 2 spare props. It comes with a screwdriver. It comes with 3 screws for the assembly. It comes with a display shelf. It comes with the manual and comes with the landing gear set. All right, so the assembly, I'm going by memory, so don't hold me to it. But if I remember correctly, everything is assembled except that you need to connect the elevator rudder cable to the control port on the board, which I believe is housed in the main wing. The main wing attaches with 3 screws, and the landing gear slots in, and assembly is complete. All right, so my weights. The LiPo weighed 9.8 grams. That was the stock 1S 350 milliamp hour LiPo. The plane, less the landing gear and the LiPo, weigh 58.3 grams, and the landing gear weighs 3 grams. So my all-up weight with the stock LiPo and the landing gear is 66.1 grams. A transmitter that I received is mode 2. So the aileron control is accomplished via yaw control using differential thrust. So the yaw control is on the aileron stick. The elevator control is normal pitch control on the right hand stick, and throttle is normal throttle control on the left hand stick. It does have high and low rates. There are trims for yaw and the pitch control, and there's a control for the LED light. Okay, it has a single LED light on the bottom. All right, so some tips for you. That my CG is 20 millimeters from the leading edge of the wing. The plane is very slightly nose heavy at that CG, which is good because for a little microplane like this, it makes it a little more stable. And this plane is very, very stable and very well balanced. So I didn't have to do anything to it. I didn't have to add any nose weight. I didn't have to add any tail ballast weight. And normally with most of these microplanes that I have come across, they're all slightly tail heavy, or the majority of them are slightly tail heavy. It's not unusual to have to add nose ballast weight. So what was really nice with this plane is I didn't have to add anything to it. I didn't have to make any adjustments to the linkage, which is something I also typically have to do with these microplanes. So this microplane flies very well with no adjustments, no ballast weight, just exactly the way it is right out of the box. The protocol, it does bind up to a multi-protocol transmitter using protocol MT99XX with subprotocol F949G as in Golf. And here's the channel setup. So channel 1 is aileron, channel 2 is elevator, channel 3 is throttle, channel 4 is rudder, although this one does not have a rudder control. The high and low rates are on channel 6. The LED light control is on channel 7. The aileron trim is on channel 10. The elevator trim is on channel 11. And I use channel 16 to bind to it. So on the setup page on your transmitter, if you check that little box for bind on channel and then set up channel 16 as your bind channel in your mixer page, and then just use any switch, but I used a momentary switch on my TX16S. So I just pull the momentary switch forward and then release it, you'll hear the transmitter bind up to it. That way I don't have to go into the menu system on the transmitter and bind to it each time. I just used a momentary switch. I did test the failsafe. The failsafe kicks in after 3 to 5 seconds, and the motor shuts down, and the control surface, the elevator, goes to neutral. So, and it has a decent glide. So if you do lose radio contact with it, you're not going to have a flyaway, and it's going to glide down to the ground. And as long as it doesn't get caught in a tree or anything, you're going to be good to go. Just pick it up and throw it back in the air again. All right, so my conclusion on this plane, it's an inexpensive 3-channel plane that's very stable and durable. It's fun to fly, and it looks good in the air. The paint scheme that it has makes it easy to tell orientation. So even though it is a microplane, and I have had this pretty far away and at pretty high altitude testing its glide capability, I never had a problem telling orientation on the plane. So I think that the fact that it has good paint scheme, which makes it very visible, the fact that it comes with everything you need, that I didn't have to make any adjustments at all to the plane, I think this is good for an absolute beginner. I don't have any problems recommending this for an absolute beginner. Links to this plane and spare batteries that I use will be in the pinned comment below the video frame. Don't forget to check out the playlist for this plane. It will have all of the videos that I've published for it so far. That's a wrap on this episode. Stay tuned, and I'll see you next time in the Tinkerz Lab.